In this video, we're going to factor by grouping. Factor by grouping is really easy. It more has to do with the greatest common factor, the first video you watched. It's just that you just create groups and then do the greatest common factor. So usually you create groups by grouping the first two terms together and the last two. And then again factor out the biggest common one. And if the inside factors of the parentheses are not the same, you need to rearrange it and try it again, but we aren't going to do any of those in this class. So number one here, again, we factor by grouping. So if I put these two together, I notice what's common is I could take out an x squared out of both of these. If I take out an x squared, that's going to leave me with an x, and then minus 5x squared divided by x squared leaves me with a negative 5. Plus, now I have 3x and negative 15. Well, what's common between those is a 3. So 3x divided by 3 leaves me with an x. And then a negative 15 with that 3 is a minus 5 again. Oh, there you go. So I have x squared times x minus 5 plus 3 times x minus 5. These are the same, which is good. So I have x minus 5 times x squared plus 3. And again, you know by now if you multiply that through, you should get the same thing as you started with. So these are equivalent expressions with this one in factored form. Now I've been saying equations a lot lately, but it should be expressions. These are all expressions, no equations, because we're not solving for anything. So that's my fault there. Try to remember they're expressions, not equations. Anyways, let's jump down to number 4 here. Number 4, we have 4x squared plus 20x minus 3xy minus 15y. So again, I'll group these first two. If you look at that, you can see you can take out a 4x. The reason, again, I can't take out an x squared is because on these first parts, this one only has an x. And I take out the 4 because I know 4 goes into that number and 4 goes into that number. If I take out a 4x from this first term, I'm left with an x. If I take out a 4x from here, I'm left with a plus 5, minus, and now if I look at these here, I see a 3 and a 15. Well, I know 3 can come out. I also see a couple of y, so I know I can also take out a y. So now negative 3xy divided by negative 3y is x, and negative 15y divided by negative 3y is a positive 5. Those two together are the same, so I group those. I have x plus 5 and then 4x minus 3y as my equivalent factored expression. And again, check it by multiplying if you need to. The last one we're going to do is number 7 over here. We have x cubed plus minus 4x squared plus 3x minus 12. Again, if I group these first two together, I see that I can take out an x squared, so that I'm left with x minus 4 plus, and I have 3x minus 12. Well, there are no x's I can take out, but I definitely could take a 3 out. 3x divided by 3 is x, and negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. Make sure that you take care of those negatives like we did over here on number 4. I had to keep in mind that I had a negative 15 and I was taking out a negative 3. So that's how I ended up with a positive 5. So over here on number 7, if I take out a positive 3 from a negative 12, that leaves me with a negative 4. And again, those are the same, so I grouped those, multiply by this one, and again, that's my equivalent expression, which is factored. And I want you guys to try the rest.